Beloved hearts of love's eternal flame, I, Nada, greet you this day, and I thank you with the eternal love of my own heart's flame for this opportunity to be with you for a few moments today. And through each of you, may I greet the larger student body of the Radiant Rose Academy around the world. Perhaps you are now coming to understand, beloved hearts, that every dispensation that comes from the great light realms comes as a sacred flame lovingly held and honored in some great temple of light, in one of the great octaves of light. And that flame is your Mother Akasha's dispensation that gives many of us the opportunity to come to you. And this is love's eternal flame as it appears in Mother Akasha's temple of love divine. In the hierarchy of ascended beings, it brings us great joy to name the many beauties that life provides us, an opportunity to create, and we love to create such beauty using all the sacred fire element. As I come to you today, I come to offer you a deepening, expanding understanding that your life, as with all of our lives, are given with a divine plan. And to help you understand today that there is no real permanent healing of anything that it seems that you are compelled to face if the divine plan is not being fulfilled. That is, if the divine plan is not fulfilling itself in you, then there is no real lasting permanent healing. Now don't let this alarm you. Rather realize what wonderful opportunities you are given as you return to divine relationship with the angelic host, with the ascended host. This is setting into motion the divine plan that is unfolding in you now. And as long as the divine plan is unfolding in you, then whatever healing will always be permanent. Now, might I offer you, precious hearts, a decree, a call that you may make to me. Lady Nada, I desire to fulfill the divine plan of my life, and therefore, whatever remaining clearing of the energy fields of my life, whatever remaining healing that I desire in my life, in my body, I ask for your divine intervention. I ask for your flame of healing, that I may go forth and fulfill the divine plan of my life. I thank you. Now, precious hearts, I wish to offer you a few things that I feel in bringing to your attention will assist you in fulfilling the divine plan of your lives. First, may I offer you 3 words from your English language that I have recently placed in my temple of inspiration. And I have charged these words with my ascended heart's flame, that you may begin to use them in your prayers, in your calls, if you so choose to. And as each of you come under Jesus Christ's command to perfect your words, your thoughts, and feelings, may you just love to explore how you might use these 3 words as often as possible. Those words are quickly, permanently, and perfectly. Quickly, permanently, and perfectly. So all the great blessings we offer you, whether it is in turning your attention to the inner glory of God's great light in you, and you are calling that light to expand in you, you are calling upon us to pour our light rays to you, might you finish your calls with, and do it quickly, permanently, and perfectly. I feel that if you will take up these 3 words, and I have charged them with my flame of inspiration, and I know your mother Akasha has encouraged you to have an understanding of the blessing of encouragement. For encouragement itself is a natural element of my flame of inspiration. And so I have charged these 3 words with my flame that has all my inspiration and all my power to encourage you. Will you take this up and just watch the enjoyable experiences that begin to come to you? Now that's the first thing that will help you to ensure the divine plan is being fulfilled in you. So whatever's required to face your last healings, so that those healings can come quickly, permanently, and perfectly, then I ask you to consider using these words often in your prayer calls to us. Now I, Nada, am very fortunate because of my activities, which are not only inspiration, my activities also involve healing, also involve what we refer to as engaging the perfecting activity. And therefore, I encourage you to remember Jesus Christ's words, "Be ye perfect, even as your I am presence in heaven is perfect. For the works I have done, your works will be greater." And now may I reveal to you what I, Nada, consider are 3 imperfect words. And may I encourage you to set forth with determination to change the use of those words. Now those 3 words, take a deep breath to your hearts. Those 3 words are, I will do. Every time you say, I will do, or you think those words, you are putting something off into the future. And if you will try to think back in your mind, you may be amazed to find these are 3 words that have quite a habit to them in their use. I wish you to change this habit. I encourage you to drop the use of those words, I will do, and instead say, this I do. By saying, this I do, in that moment, you are qualifying your intention into the present moment, not some future moment, such as the words, I will do, often suggest. So I have shown you how perhaps just the littlest things or thoughts or words can set something into motion that just allows room for more imperfection in your life. And I suppose this might have a little flavor of procrastination in it when you say, I will do that. If you, from today, you watch yourself, you might be amazed as to find how much the words will do are in your thinking. Now, of course, these are things that you are referring to in a future situation. But if you make yourself say, "This I do," and when they're important things, and you're in your prayers and doing your calls, you could say, "With the power and assistance from above, this I do through the power of God in me. This I do." And then you set your intention into motion in the present moment. So in the actual doing, if there is anything physical you must do, it will not be put off. You will have set the energy into motion. So yes, this seems like a little thing, and yet I know this is one of those little things that if you really choose to watch yourself closely and adjust your use of the words "I will do" and change them to "this I do," you might find some amazing experiences and changes unfolding in yourself and your world, your life. Now, beloved hearts, the next thing, and these things I offer you today, are to ensure, beloved hearts, the divine plan of your life is unfolding in you. Because if it's not, any effort for healing to be permanent, will not be permanent. So you understand perhaps how it is that the divine plan is unfolding in you every day. So the next thing you can give yourself, and the subject matter is no stranger to you, and that is to start commanding your attention. Not so difficult for you to do anymore, due to your awakening in your studies. But the mass of humankind let their attention run around like a little happy puppy dog, and they have no control over their attention. And therefore the wonderful powers of focus and concentration are not powers that they avail themselves to. Precious hearts, you have got to start commanding that your attention, at least part of it, be held for a few moments every day on the perfection of your God presence and the Ascended Master's octave, as well as upon the angels. Now this is not hard work, dear hearts. When you're in a wonderful meditation, you can command your higher discerning intelligence to work with your sight, to elevate your sight, to take hold of the power of your attention, and help you to place your attention upon our temples and our octave of light. And even if you cannot yet see them, even if you only imagine them, because if you could behold the beauty, the magnificence of our temples, and how we use the palette of sacred fire color in creating and making magnificent, beautiful temples, once that gets into your attention and those images get into your mind, you will never wrestle with your attention again. Keeping your attention focused on what is good and constructive, and upon your own inner light, and reminding your inner light that you so desire the divine plan of your life be fulfilled in you every day. All these things would be of such ease if for just a few moments your own higher discerning intelligence was given authority by you in a meditation that your sight be opened and raised and made to behold the beauty of the Ascended Master's octave, our temples, our homes. I think, as one of the goddesses who has been given a position of authority, it is my personal feelings that our temples of Lady Ascended Masters are filled with what much more beauty than the Gentlemen Ascended Masters. Of course, that's my own personal feeling. And many of the great Ascended Master gentlemen have challenged me on this. And yet, if I have ever found a Gentleman Ascended Master being's temple more beautiful than mine, then I quickly return to my temple, refine it, and make it more beautiful. Now, why am I sharing this with you? It is because there is nothing wrong with desiring to be the best, to create the best in whatever is your field. Of course, humility and humbleness, harmlessness and compassion and forgiveness are qualities growing beautifully in each of you now that can keep your attitudes healthy. I am sure that there are many in the mass consciousness who love to be the best in their life, yet they may have an unhealthy attitude feeding that, and therefore might be unscrupulous in their efforts to be the best. And yet for each of you, you have listened to Mother Akasha and Father Son. You have placed a great trust in all that they are encouraging you to understand, the great qualities of life, because there is no divine plan, no divine economy, unless there is divine order and divine balance, and it is of a quality of harmlessness. It is the qualities of kindness, caring, charity, compassion, and forgiveness that hold you in balance, where finally, when those qualities are so real and active in you and as you, it's just no longer possible that your desire to be the best would be fed by any wrong energies. So I ask you to go to your higher discerning intelligence. Ask your Christ self, even if it's just for a few precious moments, because for a few precious moments, you have caused to see my palace of love, even if it is only for a few moments, and that image registered upon your mind with my sacred fire element, therefore will be an image that will never escape you, will become an image you can return your attention to at any time. And just the image of my home would put you in control of your attention and make you the rightful director of your own life. Beloved precious hearts, we in the Ascended Host have brought this matter before many of those studying awakening, many of those who become initiates of the life, that the great failure of humankind to manage and direct its attention has delayed the divine plan for humanity in being fulfilled. You have gained a great momentum now, and all your healing activity and the wonderful activities each of you have begun to use that ensures the inner work of cleansing and clearing has been completed. So you can now begin to see the manifestations of all your inner work in outer activities and your world. In bringing something to your attention today, it is to realize that you, precious hearts, have been in this world for hundreds of embodiments, lifetimes upon your earth. And when you consider, long before your awakening, your own I Am God presence has given you hundreds of embodiments in which you have used the energy of your presence in every one of those lifetimes, and you did not achieve the divine plan or the ascension in any of those lifetimes. Many lifetimes were an absolute waste of time and energy. And I recognize you probably don't wish to hear that. Now we know it has seemed to be a long time to bring about the final cleansings and clearings and healings. Yet please understand, you have had hundreds of embodiments to create a vast buildup of human creation, limiting energy that has weighed heavily upon you and has become such a momentum. And it is that momentum of human creation that became so great that it was just not possible to achieve the divine plan of your lives. And with this, can you see what a predicament you yourselves put your guardian angels into? Can you see what a crisis situation you put every ascended being into by not being able to facilitate in assisting you to fulfill the divine plan? Now, fortunately, all of that has changed. Fortunately, as the seventh golden age has opened, great cosmic forces can now intervene and adjust and provide, if asked, for the sacred fire intervention to end the tragic momentum of human miscreation that has occurred over too many lifetimes lived on the earth. Now, isn't that a wonderful thing? Precious hearts, hundreds of embodiments you have used the life, the energy of your presence. And too often, none of that energy achieved the divine plan of your lives. Now, fortunately for you, any good use of that energy at the end of every past life has been placed in what we refer to as the great circle of colors, the causal body that exists around your I Am God presence. This has been done by the angels until that life that you would remember who you are. Wake up and live and teach yourself to live in your octave how we in our octave live, so that you could begin to receive at least some of that good and constructive energy of the past that was saved for you being placed in the great causal body of your presence. If that did not happen, all the good of past lifetimes would have been lost. Nice reason to love the angels? I know it. And so try and hold close to this. Centuries of embodiments, hundreds, in which humanity has used the energy of the presence, and rather than gaining the divine plan of their lives fulfilled, it has created an extreme human density in this world of energy. And when humans have passed through the change called death, they have left that limited energy in this world. Well, beloved hearts, energy knows its own. And when you come back into this world, and you have rested, you've had a reprieve through the change called death, and when you are born back into this world, that limiting energy that was left here from a previous life, it knows its owner. And that energy knows the owner's back in town. And goes and begins to cling around the auric fields and finally makes its way back inside. And it's this way, lifetime after lifetime, all the heavy, densely created human energy in creation just builds and builds. And it is for this reason, precious hearts, that as you awaken, that you must begin to use the great modalities of clearing and healing and the great blessings. And we know it seems to take so much time until finally much of the work has been accomplished for clearing the energy used in past lives. And for you to realize now, it is finally accomplished. Because only then can all the blessings you open up to be a blessing and an experience that unfolds in you, and no energy of the past is there to stop you from experiencing all the divine energies and blessings that we invite you to call in every day. And that moment has arrived for each of you, beloved hearts. God bless you. And these new moments are yours, where freedom shall be your victory soon. Each spiritual awakening in your recent past lives, dear hearts, was to begin that journey of clearing, cleansing all the limited energy of past lives, letting it be cleared, letting it be balanced, letting that energy that has often trapped you or been trapped in this atmosphere of earth be finally balanced and purified enough so that nothing of the past could hinder your awakening and becoming future. And now you have done it. This has been achieved. And this is why I will stand with Mother Akasha and give her all assistance and give you all assistance. Yet now it's going to be up to you in the assistance we offer you when we say to you, you have entered into a cycle in which all these wonderful new understandings and awakenings that you have, now you can begin to experience these understandings, these blessings, the greatest of all being your own great God I Am presence in you and above you, which will always be for infinite time and remain the greatest of all experiences. And if I were you, beloved hearts, for perhaps there is a little residue of limiting energy of the past, in your life. If I were you, I would just love to call upon the Ascended Master's law of forgiveness, of sacred fire love, to enter into the very last particles of limiting energy that may have come from your past, whether this lifetime or any other lifetime you have lived, that you demand the Ascended Master's law of forgiveness, that sacred fire love, enter into the last particle of energy from your past, and let the sacred fire cleanse it, purify it, and place it in the great universal, where that energy cleansed and purified can be used for your life to set your life free, to become once again the unlimited beings of divine spiritual consciousness. Now, beloved hearts, that you are setting your life free, there is coming forth now for each of you a very sacred fusion from celestial realms of light, divine intervention and assistance, for this sacred fusion to occur in your life. And that is the expressions of the I Am God Self, divine personality, divine spirit, divine presence, and divine soul. These I Am God expressions of divine self, those being, again, personality, spirit, presence, and soul. And the union and fusion of those four great aspects of your being, it is this that brings forth the promise of you. It is this that is the crowning moments in which you are truly born again into the greater unity, one glorious I Am God being. And there is a synthesis. There is no separation any longer between your personality, your spirit, your presence, and soul. And it is the fusion of this that opens the way, where you are raised, beloved hearts, into radiant rose souls, and the divine plan of your lives are now unfolding. And many of you who are hearing my message today know that you have already been raised into the radiant rose soul under Mother Akasha's dispensation. It is in this soul evolution that the divine plan of your life fulfilled is guaranteed. It is the radiant rose soul, where the wings of the soul opens. Perhaps you have heard of the expression, the wings of the soul. May I advise you that the quality of those wings are adoration and determination. And as the wings of the soul open, providing you a full force of adoration, a full force of determination. What shall this be for you, you might ask? Well, what is this force of adoration? What does the wings of the soul provide you? It is a greater love with an increased ability to generate infinite love. Determination, the force of determination your soul offers each of you, is to generate through determination, the power of will. The will to be and the will to become. That is why adoration, which is truly love in motion, and determination, which is truly divine will in action, are the great gifts of the soul, are the wings of the soul that lifts each of you to new heights of consciousness, new plateaus of love and beingness, and takes you through your resurrection and makes you a light that becomes a guiding light in this world, that just loves to lift all life into its freedom. By sharing this with you, which is in your Mother Akasha's domain, it is that Goddess Charity and I, Mother Akasha, the Goddess of Music, and others of us, it is to help you to understand that we are all ascended sisters, and we all work together to support Mother Akasha's dispensation. And by doing so, we can support each of you. I have sought to share a few things today about perfecting words, limiting words, about how important it is to clear and cleanse energies of the past, how important it is for you to have healing that is permanent, so that you may fulfill the divine plan of your lives. And if you are determined to call in the Ascended Masters, a little hint, dear heart, I'll just back up a few words. The more you are determined to live the Ascended Master's way of life, which is love and light supreme, and we are given all freedom to direct the light, we are given all freedom to direct and manifest the light in all its glory, all its magnificence. If you would like to start growing within yourself a desire to live the Ascended Master's way of life in your octave, long before your ascension, and while the divine plan of your life is being fulfilled, then you must have our sacred fire law of forgiveness that is constantly going into all the energy of your life, keeping it purified. I do believe that the efforts you have made, the assistance that has been given you, and now the small amount of effort that you must make, dear hearts, you will find a way to come to live the Ascended Master's way of life. And our way of life is love and light supreme in everything we do. We come, we offer blessings, interventions, and we can give you endless help. And yet when it comes to the very last energy, the very last of energy that you've used in this world, we can help you too. The angels can help you. All your prayers, all your calls. Together, we can collectively help you. We want you to reach up to your presence and reach up to our octave. Your presence lives in our octave. And we desire that you demand our sacred fire, love, mercy, and forgiveness under the law of forgiveness to help you cleanse the last particles of limiting energy that may be acting in your life. And I suggest that you desire the day will come that you can say to yourself, I did it. I did it. And as you give the command for the Ascended Master's law of forgiveness that releases the sacred fire love from our octave into the last of any limiting energy in your life, it will be done. I feel that for each of you, if this becomes something important, and every day you offered up 2 minutes of your time and said to yourself, I have been given great assistance in purifying all the energy of my life. It's this. This is what takes so long, dear hearts, to get on with the becoming the light, because you've lived hundreds of lifetimes. And of course, you didn't know that once you begun your spiritual awakening, you didn't know it would set you on a journey of self-healing and self-cleansing. Perhaps you all thought your first lifetime of awakening that you would become Christ in those moments of spiritual awakening. No. Instead, your awakening sets you upon a path of facing yourself, healing yourself, increasing your self-awareness, gaining knowledge. All these things you had to take in and do, all in preparation of being raised into Christ consciousness. You are the second wave, all of you on the earth now. You are the second wave of those awakening since 1930. So are not you truly on your way now? Now the way is opened for each of you. And I ask you to be encouraged, to look forward to daily entering into your prayers, decrees, and meditations. And all you are calling forth in recognition that Mother Akasha has drawn you across the line of resurrection. That Mother Akasha has introduced to you a threefold means and use of prayers, decrees, and meditations. And through the use of your attention, now the way is open for each of you to begin to experience a new freedom and fulfilling the divine plan. For the cleansing of energy past is mostly been accomplished now. So what stands in your way for each of you to experience the great blessings you are calling forth? In this, and in realizing that any permanent healing requires that healing come forth, so that you are given the opportunity for the divine plan of your life to be fulfilled, which is your accountability as the director and authority of your life's energy, which required a cleansing of the energy that had been used in the past. This is now accomplished. And you will help the future regarding people who will awaken in the future to realize that they must do the same too. And now, precious hearts, you are compelled into the next vibration in which fulfilling and ensuring the divine plan is continually unfolding in each of you, is to be of one united mind and heart, so that moving forward, that there will be no further wasting of your energy. And it is up to each of you now. Your own inner knowing will tell you if you are engaged in something that is wasting your energy. Conserve your energy, loved ones, and let the light of your divine energy build and build and build to assist you to fulfill the divine plan of your lives. In closing my time with you, I say to you, you are wiser beings now. And I am not suggesting you place your attention upon your presence or the angels all day long. I do suggest that you harness the power to qualify your day as Father or Son has taught. And therefore, perhaps upon retiring and upon awakening in the morning, if you call to your presence, to take command of your attention over the next day or the day that is to unfold, to take complete command of your attention, and to help you hold your attention where you want it to be, on that which is constructive. Then if you do this, you have set this into motion. You are commanding your attention. Now, for me, it is very important that you be clear on the experience that you have had when you're not in command of your attention. And that is often when something happens to you or around you, some problem, some challenge, and it gets into your mind, it disturbs you, and no matter how much you try, you just can't get it off your mind. Right? Do you have the feeling of that? Oh, yes, you do. Well, so you know how important it is to gain control of your attention and to being focused on what you do wish to accomplish. Now you are great torchbearers of light. You are all being prepared not only to fulfill the divine plan of your lives, you are being prepared to save and raise humankind from its own demise. And I suppose it would be very avant-garde and nice if your presence ascended you into our octave right now. And we would certainly welcome you with open arms. Yet the loss of your presence, your light on earth, would weigh heavily upon this planet. You may not have a full idea how much your light is positively affecting your loved ones, your family, your co-workers, people around you, people in the local grocery store, wherever you walk, wherever you smile. You may not have a full idea yet until you can see with Ascended Master eyes. You have no idea what great quality and difference that your light is making upon other people's lives and your planet. Well, perhaps you might speculate, if the great cosmic law spoke and commanded that an angel come to every good and constructive person on earth, and the order was given to lift them up and off the earth, then all you would have left is a few billion human beings, who are partially discordant in their own ways. What might be the demise of civilization if every good and kind and light-filled human being was taken from the earth now? If the light spoke and the earth was left in the hands of a lot of densely duality people, what would happen if you removed that group of awakened beings and the influence of good people was not upon the lives of those others? And these human beings that would be left, they are not evil individuals. They are just individuals who have become so weak due to destructive human habits, due to the sinister force that's in this world. due to the appetites of the human world, this, that, and the other thing. And most have just become weak. They have weakened themselves to such a degree that almost anything destructive can easily act upon them. So you see, maybe you can sense that if all of you awakening were removed from this world, then the people who were left on earth would not feel the quality, would not feel the encouragement, would not feel the pressure of light that your lives bear upon this world. Well, maybe you do know this, and maybe this helps you to realize that your light is making a great difference to the people of earth, to all the kingdoms of life on earth, and to the powers of nature. So be of good cheer, precious hearts. No matter the hurdles you might face, the bumps on the road, for every initiate who chooses the way of the light, I've always faced these things too for a while. I am Nada, goddess of inspiration. Call upon me if you desire my presence in your lives. If you desire that I assist you in any of the few things that I have spoken into this day. I love you. Beloved friends of love's eternal presence. Namaste, namaste, namaste.